When working with place value, you will see it phrased in a few different ways. Up here in question number 2, it talks about place value as numeric forms. For instance, in 2a, 10 times as many as 110, so 10 times 110 would be 10 tens. 10 times as many as blank tens is 30 tens. So 10 times as many as 3 tens, because 3 times 10 equals 30 tens, that could be exchanged for 3 hundreds. Blank as many as 9 hundreds is 9 thousands. To get 9 hundreds to 9 thousands, it would be 10 times as many. As 900 is 9,000, and blank thousands is the same as 20 hundreds. To trade 20 hundreds into thousands, it would be 2,000. Okay, so you can just talk about the transition from one place value to the next as 10 times more the place value below. In a problem like this looks very similar to what we were doing earlier, except for it is a word problem version. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. It says Matthew has 30 stamps in his collection. Matthew's father has 10 times as many stamps as Matthew. How many stamps does Matthew's father have? So if I go to my place value chart, and I can create this on my own. So I have my ones, my tens, my hundreds, and my thousands. So I know Matthew has 30 stamps, okay? I could put it as 30 ones, but I'd much rather put that as 3 tens. Now, since I know I have 3 tens, I know that Matthew's father has 10 times. So for every 10, there are 10 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is what Matthew has. This is what Matthew's father has. And I know that I can trade this 10 tens in for 100. This 10 tens in for this 100. And this 10 tens as this 100, which tells me that I have 30 tens or 300s. Which tells me, as I mentioned, Matthew's father has 300 stamps. There are a few more problems like this, but I wanted to look at our exit ticket very briefly, something you may have seen in Zern as well, or on paper. In this place value chart, the first activity is to label the place value chart as you see it above. So we know this is ones, this would be tens, this would be hundreds, this would be thousands. So in step 2, tell me about the movement of the discs in the place value chart by filling the blanks to make the following equation match the drawing in the place value chart. So I know that I have how many columns? In this case, I have 4 columns of 10, which would equal 40, and this happens to be in the hundreds place value. But as shown in this activity, instead of drawing each column over, we can take the collective sum of 40 hundreds and trade it in for 4,000. In this problem, you can have some creativity as you write a statement about the place value chart using words 10 times as many. So, say we're talking about grains of rice, and Sarah has 100 grains of rice, or 100 grains of rice, and Sarah's mom has 10 times as many. That would be the 100 grains of rice traded in for 4,000. I know this looks a little different than what we're used to, but if you can go in between 4,000 and 40 hundreds back and forth, you really understand the value and the substance, especially when we get into higher math terms and we may have to cash in thousands back into hundreds for other operations.